Welcome in to Taco Bowler Gaming and perhaps League of Average Gaming. I don't know where you are watching me today, but this is a timeline video for my run online on my channel, Taco Bowler Gaming, playing as Sweden, going for all the Sweden-specific achievements, the two that were there beforehand, Lion of the North, and Sweden is Not Overpowered, and then the new ones for Scandinavia, which is Super Troopers, I think, where we have to form Scandinavia and have 80 Carolean infantry with 40% infantry combat ability, and then form Scandinavia and revoke the privilege, which is Aseemble instructions needed, which is the name of this name of the playlist and the name of the campaign when I was doing this here. At the beginning of the campaign, obviously Sweden begins as a vassal of, or a personal union under Denmark. There's not a ton that I can show you with that, but their new mission tree very quickly helps you get independence and helps you get it with some help. So I was allied to Poland and England to win that, and Denmark had no real allies of any note. So we were able to win this quickly, get our independence quickly, and then we attacked Novgorod very quickly. And importantly, we took this province here, which is Novgorod itself. That prevents Muscovy from forming a Russia, and we make sure to get the Baltic. There's a few missions that we were also going for down here. The top half of Sweden's mission tree is really important to get all of, and I'll take a look at that here when we're done. But then we begin to really quickly expand. Frankly, quicker than I really expected or wanted to. We got Gotland over here very quickly. When you take this, if you can manage to take this in that first war, these four here, then you can start getting a claim on Norway's throne. So I took that there. I want to say at some point I took Finnmark too. But here we annex Novgorod. We will then release it very soon to try to get some reconquest going against Muscovy. So one of the things we have to do is try to get Moscova, or Moscow itself, and have very little aggressive expansion, or not very little separatism and things like that. I guess just unrest. So separatism there. Yeah, I took that one. That was when I got Norway under my thumb. I took this because there's one where you have to do something with the culture of these two provinces, which is also the culture here. And I needed extra development. I think I had to accept the culture or something like that. So I grabbed that for myself, but took Norway under personal union. So I now control all that. You'll also notice that I took, I at some point had puppeted the Livonian Order and wound up taking it completely. Couldn't get Riga. Riga is very important for one of the missions. And we have to have Riga. We don't even have to have all of these. We just have to have 5 of those. But one of them has to be Riga. And Poland winds up playing not nice with that. That was about the first time I was angry at Poland because they had taken the capital here, or they had taken a lot of this land and not handed it over to me. So I vassalized the Livonian Order instead of conquering it because I had the capital and I didn't want to give any land to Poland. But they would eventually get back at me with Riga, and that's when I was kind of done with them. But it's important to also note that by taking Danzig and Teutonic Order, they've taken the coastline. I need the coastline. There they've taken Riga right here. This is when I'm really done with them, and I switch. I remove them as my ally. I would run into some problems with my alliances as we went along, and I'd have to shift that somewhat. But yeah, this one I'm really angry with Poland. Lithuania is under Poland at this time. They don't stay there, but that is a part of it here. So, but yeah, we have all of this going here. Poland did give us these two in the war, which involved Denmark and Riga, but that was not enough. I needed this for the mission, which would give me claims all over here. So it was what it was. It was here. So the achievements, if you don't know, we have to win the Religious League as the leader of the Protestants, revoke the privilege as the emperor, have the 80 Carolean, I never quite got that once. And then own all of the Baltic coastline. And I think that's own all of the Baltic coastline. Which, interestingly, there is a mission for Sweden that involves Dithmarschen as Baltic. But that does not... It is not needed for the achievement. It's just this general area right in here. But that would still involve Riga. I was really, really angry with Poland at this point. But yeah, we're just trying to continue on moving through here. This Germanic coastline, obviously, with the HRE added aggressive expansion was going to be problematic. But here we go. We take Danzig. I believe this is our vassal. 100% sure. This is our vassal, Danzig. No. I think I released it. Forced Poland to release Danzig and took Riga in a war. I got allies down here with like Hungary and Austria and stuff. Austria lost the emperorship quite early. And it went to Hesse, and then it went to the Palatinate, and then it went back to Austria before the League War, which was a little sad. But they lost the emperorship quite early, so they never really got as strong as they could have gotten. Here we've taken all of Denmark, gave some to Norway, and Holstein appeared, which I believe was I gave it to Norway, and they returned it. But I didn't have very much admin at the time, so you do what you do. But here we go. We stuff is happening over here with Teutonic Order. We've taken this, so we created the vassalized the Teutonic Order in a war, and now we've just grown all of this over here. Muscovy's annexed Pskov over here, but here we are quickly growing into the German coastline, but that's where we pretty much have to stop. I think we're going to take Lübeck, these two from Lübeck here pretty soon, but we're going to have to stop real soon because aggressive expansion and alliances, and that's about when Austria gets the emperorship back. And that's when we had to dump Austria as a friend. The Ottomans attack Hungary. The Ottomans have attacked Poland at one point. We defended them, and the Ottomans attacked us a little bit up here. That caused problems. France will also attack Great Britain around that time, whenever you see this fall. And that really wrecked us. Actually took most of our nation under problem here. I want to point out that Bohemia just ate Brunswick. They're going to have Brunswick for a while. Bohemia has become really big. It was a good game for Bohemia. It was a good game for Bohemia. But yeah, so here, at this point, we just lost a war, lost 2 consecutive wars defending our allies. So we dump England, we dump Austria, because they're the emperor. We have no actual allies. So for a little bit here, we're kind of in the breach. But we will eventually wind up getting the Ottomans as an ally, which is amazingly helpful. Eventually we'll get Burgundy as an ally, and we'll piece things together to be safe again, diplomatically. But yeah, once we get the Ottomans as an ally, then we're able to start attacking Muscovy and really start attacking for good here. But we did get our reconquest for Novgorod, and that's about when we're starting also to annex. We annexed Norway here. Then we're going to annex Novgorod, and this was big. We wanted to make sure it got Prussia. I never did re-release it, but I wanted to make sure it got Prussia. We also attacked Gaeldom over here at one point. And so whenever you see Gaeldom expand real quickly like this, that is, we have taken them over. And that they are our vassal over here as well. The idea was to eventually get them to grow and take over all the English Isles. We didn't completely get that, but we did get a little bit there. We just kind of gave up because we achieved our other goals. But yeah, so we've annexed Norway. We're going to try to annex Novgorod. We're going to then annex Prussia much later, as we've allowed Prussia to grow a little bit. One of the missions to get Poland under a PU. There we go. We've gotten to the border of Moscow. One of the missions to get Poland under PU is to either get your dynasty on the Polish throne, or to get 20 provinces in the Poland area owned by you or your ally, and so or your vassal, excuse me. And so Prussia there would be ours. We're going to take a little bit more just trying to get the Poland PU, which we do eventually get, but some of the Poland regions over here as well, where Bohemia starts. So Scandinavia usually requires admin tech 20. There is a mission if you complete the top half of the mission tree. For Sweden, there is a mission that lets you get Scandinavia prior to having that 20 admin tech, and they've got some good ideas now in this patch, so that was definitely worth it. You'll also notice that I've now taken over here, taken these provinces there. We have completed the Baltic coastline in our subjects, but we're going to have to annex Prussia before that happens. This is roughly the time that we win the League War, in fact more than the time that we've won the League War, but we were not elected emperor. Hesse became emperor again for a couple of times before we finally did get enough electors on our side at the right times to become emperor, and then we never let it go. And then we began the campaign of making them all the right religion, but also breaking up some of these big boys. So we break up into Bohemia, we break up Austria, and release these countries as we try and get. I think we took over with 12 free cities and 25 regular princes somewhere in the 30s, and we will end with 70 some odd princes in the empire. So that's, an important part of things. But you'll notice there's just things that eventually grow. We've taken that here. That gets us enough stuff in Poland. I actually think we have to take these from here. But here we go. There is all of Baltic coastline owned by us. Yay, go us. But here we go. We will release Polotosk so that we can do a reconquest war here, and they'll take a lot of this land eventually. And yep, so we have some of these countries here. Hungary becomes our vassal, and we start breaking things up down here. We've taken this area over here. We will give most of that, except for these two, to Gaeldom. And we're breaking up everyone here, and we're just slowly but surely bringing people through. We're also, at this point, we've unlocked the Carolean infantry, so we're building them up and placing them in. In order to get more of those, you have to have in order to get the 80, you have to have 800 development in Swedish and Finnish provinces. So at that point, I'm culture converting all of this to Swedish or Finnish and developing as much as I can up here in order to get all of that going. This was mostly the offline portions here, so that's all we're basically doing, is just going through that process. And then we're just slowly creating these countries, trying to get them to trying to get ones that we can use expand empire that CB on to get some imperial authority. You'll also notice that I release some states that can, we hope, join the empire to increase the number. So there is Stettin, there is Prussia, there is Estonia, there is Riga, there is Novgorod. We couldn't do Norway in Europe. We could do Norway over there, but not in Europe, which was sad. We couldn't do Denmark, which was sad. And I couldn't add Norway over here, but it is what it is. And when we finally do revoke the privilege, Poland lost its PU because it was a part of the empire, and it became just a regular vassal in that. But here in August of 1658, we manage to revoke the privilege. There is revoking the privilege. So that is that. We get our 4 achievements right there. For ideas, I started with innovative because innovative with quality gave me infantry combat ability. So obviously with quality, we get the infantry combat ability right there. With the policy, that was 25, and then the Swedish ideas get 20 more. So that was where we get our 40 infantry combat ability from. You take a look at the ideas, they're really, really good. Here's the administrative efficiency, discipline, manpower. It's really good. But this is our ideas. Influence after that, which I think was about the aggressive expansion impact down there with innovative. And then we get religious, not really that much to it. I think it was the morale of armies and siege ability for quality that we get religious for, so all that stuff going there. Let me take a look at the missions here. This is what I'm talking about with the top half. So this right here, you want to get all of that, even if you don't touch anything down here, which you probably should. But even if you don't, you need to get this top half here. You can see the declare independence. That helps you get some friends and declare your independence. And helps you get a good king and with some legitimacy after it's done. But then this one here is the one that gives you Scandinavia early. This one gives you a ton of good stuff here. And then Lord of Eastern Europe gives you a few extra perks there. But yeah, that's what you need. That top half there is way overpowered. This is good. It's way overpowered, though. Reform the military here is the one that unlocks the allotment system and unlocks the opportunity to build your Carolean infantry units there. But fun game, and I hope that if you have not watched most of the series, if you will, you go back and watch that series here. There's a link to it in my channel for the to the playlist, and I hopefully Jetnor can get that up at some point as well. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun, and I would encourage you, if you're thinking about it, to encourage you to play Sweden. I think they did a good job with this patch, with the nations they focused on up here. So I've been Taco Bowler Gaming. If you have not checked my channel out, I invite you to go check my channel out. If you are on my channel and you've never looked at the League of Average Gaming, he doesn't post a ton, but he sometimes posts over there, and I'd encourage you to go check out some of his stuff that he's posted over there. And either way, I will see you whenever I next see you.